Once upon a time, men lived in the darkness, for there were no stars, no moon, or sun. The only light was that of a campfire. At that time, the crow was white, from the tip of his claws to the end of his wings. And the crow knew that the leader of the tribe kept the sun, the moon, and the stars in 3 huge trunks. They were carved and painted yellow, white, and blue, respectively. These trunks were sacred. Nobody could ever come near them, not even the chief's wife or daughter. With a global pandemic that seems never ending, and a world that lacks justice and empathy, it is oftentimes a struggle to find hope in such a hopeless world and a messed up world. But in times like these, focusing on finding joy and the positive can really be of help. For example, one of the things I consider most special about the world is that no matter what corner of the globe you travel to, there are cultural beliefs and traditions that are unique to those people. And all the different cultures of the world view the world through a different lens. And I believe that one of the best ways to get to know all of those different lenses is through folk tales. And today, I'm here to show you the world through a different lens, one that I grew up with. This is When the Crow Stole the Sun, a Latin American indigenous folktale. One day, the crow was eavesdropping on a conversation between the chief and his wife from the fireplace. No quiero tener hijos. Quiero enfocarme en mi carrera y ser exitosa. The chief was destroyed. His daughter had just told him she didn't want children. He would have no descendants. At that moment, the crow was struck with an idea. The crow transformed himself into a babe and positioned himself in front of the home. He began to cry, "Abuelito! Abuelito!" The chief heard the baby cry outside the home. "Ay, Dios mío!" He took the baby in and demanded that he be brought milk. As he cuddled the baby, he thought, "Qué regalo de Dios! What a gift from God!" The chief didn't care where that boy came from. He treated him as his own and did everything possible to make him happy. He loved that boy with every fiber of his being. When the babe began taking his first steps, he wanted to explore the world around him, which led to his discovery of the blue trunk. He insisted it be opened, and when the chief hesitated, the child began to cry. "Por favor, yayo." Ultimately, the old man gave in and allowed the boy to open the trunk. The stars escaped and traveled up to heaven where they belonged. The child danced in delight, and the chief was so happy to see a smiling boy that he didn't mention anything about the opening of the trunk. The next day, the boy asked to open the white trunk, and once again, the man said yes. And the moon floated up to the sky, illuminating the whole land. But the last trunk was the chief's most prized possession. He adored it more than anything. So when the boy began to cry again, the chief was hesitant. But finally he gave in to the boy's tears. The sun leapt into the sky. The big yellow ball danced and waved to the tribes below. The earth basked in the heat from the sun, and at that very moment, the babe transformed back into a crow. The chief stood there in silence, overcome by feelings of betrayal. The bird dashed into the fireplace, his ashes covering him, and when he went into the light, he turned a beautiful jet black. The crow was emocionado, exuberant. He had brought light to the earth. The people, they had hope. They had alegría. And never again would a selfish old chief hoard nature's gifts. For light belongs to the people. Thank you.